It's time for Quick Draw. Get out your tickets now. We're playing Quick 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good luck!
Views and comments expressed by the hosts, their guests, callers, and advisors on Eye of the Nation are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Eye of the Nation is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Eye of the Nation is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2026. All rights are reserved.
Welcome to Eye on the Nation. I'm Sandy Brown. So Levin is not here today. I already see y'all in the comments saying these are the last couple days with the duo, but he's not here today and he won't be here tomorrow, but he will be back on Monday. So he will be back on Monday, but we do have an announcement, so I'm going to make that announcement right now. I was trying to figure out what was going on with the internet, and that's why y'all caught me kind of not really prepared. But we have chosen the first 5 finalists. If you've been listening to the show, he's not gone already, guys. He's not gone yet. We're not going to let him leave without telling y'all goodbye, okay? I promise. But we have chosen the first 5 finalists who are going to join us next week. I've been teasing it pretty much throughout the last couple of days, if you've been paying attention. So these are our 5 final finalists, and everybody will get 1 day, as you can see. So the first day we have Nathan Johnson, so he'll be here with us on Monday, and then we have Brian Ramming, who will join us on Tuesday. Jay Philippe, who will join us on Wednesday. On Thursday, the only woman in the group, Waynisha Sanders-Taylor, she will join us. And then on Friday, we have Stephen Hanna. So every day we will have a different contestant, as you can see. Do you want to say contestant? A different trial co-host. I think I like the sound of that better. So every day we'll have somebody on different, and then from those 5, you guys will help us choose 2 that will just come on with me by myself. So the first week, next week, Monday through Friday, it'll be me, them, and Levin, and then we'll invite 2 of them back, and those 2 will be just on a show with just me and them. But don't worry, if you still want to apply, it is not too late for you to apply, because this is only the first round, and we do plan on having a round 2. So if you were just watching and waiting because you wanted to see if anybody else was going to apply or what your competition was going to look like, you still have an opportunity to send in your application. You can go on ILTV Studios page, the same page that you go on to watch the show. I think the link is also on Eye of the Nation's Eye of the Nation Eyewitness News page. You can go on there as well. There's a link you click, you upload a video, a photo of yourself, a resume if you have it, and you could just talk a little bit about why you think that you should come here and, take the seat. Why you should be the next co-host of Eye of the Nation. I'll give you some pointers. Personality. We want to be able to see your personality in the video because that is very, very, very important for this show. Of course, you have to know what's going on in the nation. You have to know what's going on in the country. You have to have thick skin. In addition to being knowledgeable, you really just also have to be personable because our audience is a little bit different from the regular talk show audiences. We like to laugh, we like to have fun here while educating, so we kind of entertain and we inform at the same time. And so we're just looking for that. I know 30 to 60 seconds in a video is not enough, but I think you could kind of see someone's personality in that time, so that's what we're looking for. Like I said, you do not just because the first 5 finalists have been selected does not mean that the search is closed, okay? So the search is still continuing. And like I said, let me see if I can pull it up again, because my eyes really ain't, these lashes be lashing. Somebody told me yesterday that these new lashes, you can't even see if I have eyes. I do have eyes. They just kind of, a little small at the moment. So the first 5 finalists, they're going to put them back up there for you guys. On Monday, it'll be Nathan Johnson. And you guys can let us know in the comments already if you know any of these people, if you think they'll make a good fit. But we do want y'all to join us next week, obviously, and watch them audition live and tell us, the feel that you got from them. So Monday is Nathan Johnson. Tuesday is Brian Ramming. Wednesday is Jay Philippe. Thursday, the only woman in the group, Waynisha Sanders Taylor. And then Friday, we have the final contestant for that week, Stephen Hanna. And like I said, after those 5 audition, you guys get to let us know who you think had the best chemistry, who you think is doing well enough, and then they'll come back on with just me, and then we'll choose from there. But it's not closed. The search is still on. Go on ILTV Studios page and apply if you still want to be a part of the search. We'll remind you guys later in the show about what to do, but we got to take this break. When we come back, we have lots of things to cover today. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this break.
Eye on the Nation will be back right after these messages.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation. If you are just joining us, I see some of you in the comments came at the end of what I was talking about. No, Mr. Miller is not gone yet. We will let Levin or Ivan or Leanne or whoever it is y'all wish to call him, he will be able to say goodbye to you guys before he leaves, okay? So he's not gone yet. He's still here. He's just not going to be here today and tomorrow, but he'll be back on Monday when we start, going through our list of potential co-hosts. We'll remind you of who those guys are and how you can join us in voting, and if you want to apply, where you can apply a little later on in the show. But we do have a full show today, so let's get started. And before we jump into all of that, don't forget that with Canoe, Bahamian businesses can access their funds right at home, enjoy faster payouts, process payments 24/7, and move money at your convenience. So Bahamian business owners can accept payments online with Canoe, explore Canoe's API and invoicing features to get paid locally and internationally. Canoe is a Bahamian fintech helping local merchants accept payments fast and easy. And Canoe empowers entrepreneurs to get paid quickly and to grow. And also, if you are looking to unwind or detox, calm teas and a 14-day detox tea await you at herbalbeautysupplyconcepts.com. That's herbalbeautysupplyconcepts.com. Or you can give them a call at 818-7831. I am reading y'all comments. I'll get to y'all in a second. Leave-in's last day, I think, is next Friday. I have to confirm that. I am not sure. I see you are voting for people already. I say give everybody a little chance. You know, give everyone a chance. Some people might surprise you. You may not know them personally, but, you know, they might surprise you. I'm being very optimistic. I'm keeping an open mind. I know one or two of the contestants, I guess, the potential co-hosts, but I'm not going to be biased. I'm going into it with a very open mind, and I hope you guys do too, because I've seen the comments, and I see you all talking about the chemistry and how you love me and leaving together, but it's coming to an end, guys. So let's be nice to the people that are coming. Let's give them an opportunity. Let's give them a fair chance, okay? Please? All right. So let's jump into what's making news. Now, remember, if you were paying attention to what we were talking about yesterday, we were trying to figure out what was it that the Bahamas Union of Teachers was holding out on with their agreement with the government. If you've been paying attention, the other two unions, one which we just found out about, which was recently formed in April, and the other union, which I think was BEMU, or it's too much unions. They have kind of reached agreements with the government in terms of what their teachers and the managers and stuff want, but the BUT is still holding out. Well, Belinda is telling us exactly what it is that they want from the government. They want a 20% pay raise over the next 3 years. So that's a part of the salary package. So if you remember before election, she had said that there was just one issue that they were still trying to work with the government that they couldn't move forward with, and it was pay. But we did not know what it was. So now we know she wants a 20% salary increase over the next 3 years as a part of this package that they have presented to the government. Now, according to Belinda, the negotiations have been underway since October 2025, and they just returned to the table last Thursday to talk. This is what she said. The government presented the same salary package that we have rejected already. What we are asking for is not unreasonable, but what they keep presenting us with is unreasonable. She declined to disclose what the government's offer is. So we don't know if she said 20% and then the government came back and said 15 and then she said no. Or if the government came back and said, okay, we can't give y'all 20 over 3, maybe we can give y'all 20 over 5, or we can give y'all 15, and then we could sit, and she just is saying no. We don't know if she's not moving from what her position is. We don't know if the government isn't moving from their position, because when asked about it, Chester said that he's not talking about the negotiations with the teachers in the media. He's not going to discuss what's going on with them. The discussions will be behind closed doors. So we don't know. Belinda's not saying what the government's position is, and Chester Cooper isn't saying what the government's position is. I don't think 20% for the teachers is a bad thing. If you can't find the money, get the money from BPL with the $20 million we doing in overtime. Find the money to pay the teachers. I feel like we always have the same conversation about teachers not making enough money every year. Every year we talk about the fact that they don't have enough money to decorate their classrooms and how a lot of times they have to go out of their pockets in order to feed the kids in their classrooms. Pay the teachers, especially when you find out the meager salary that a lot of them are making, especially with the degrees that they have to have in order to become a teacher in the government school system. You don't just go with a bachelor's degree like in some of the private school systems, like a math degree and then you become a math teacher. You have to have a teaching certificate in addition to a degree in order to be a teacher in the government school system, and then they ain't paying you nothing. So Belinda's saying the 20%, give the teachers the 20%. I don't know what the 20% is amount to in numbers, and they're not telling us, but I say give the teacher their 20%. Thank you guys. Yeah, I know y'all behaving. I see y'all behaving. Y'all behave there. Yes, the YouTube people, y'all kind of behave a little bit better than our Facebook people. It's the Facebook people that ain't that y'all don't behave all the time. Okay, y'all want me to read it? I'll read it. So a lot of people are saying Stephen Hanna. They think that Stephen will be a great addition to the show. But like I said, give everybody a chance. Give everyone a chance. I think y'all are saying that because a lot of people know him from TikTok, and I think he had a show here, vlog, one of those. And you know, he's pretty popular from content that he does, so I think that's why people are saying that. But you know, like I keep telling y'all, give everybody else a chance. See someone say, I'm voting for Jay. Sonny, I could be honest. One of the candidates, I hope he could be unbiased. You guys worked because you and Levin speak your mind no matter what it is. I'm afraid the political alliances may cloud a certain candidate. We know who you're talking about. He applied, so he knows what it means when he has to come here, and hopefully he's watched the show before, so that means that he knows what is required of him when he comes on the show. And then y'all will be right here with me, and we get to grill him together, and we get to figure out whether or not he can be unbiased. Even though some of y'all is be accusing us of being biased, especially the other person who ain't here now. Y'all swear up, down, and all around that he sold his soul to the PLP. And half of y'all think that that's where he's going, that he got a contract with the government. So if y'all thought that he was biased and y'all was still able to follow us and like the show and watch, then give this other guy a chance too. He just ran. He didn't make it. Maybe he can make it here. Okay? So we're going to give him a chance. I see y'all, the rest of y'all with y'all votes. We'll talk a little bit about it later in the show because we do have to we do have to move on. It's hard to read your comments with me, one, and focus and do the show. So if you also have been paying attention, I don't know if y'all read the crime reports or y'all only see what they put out on the media, but there have been a lot of stolen vehicles lately. I even saw a video today. I wish I had like screen recorded it so we could play it, where these guys just pulled up. And they didn't steal the vehicle though, but they broad daylight hopped out of the car and was like pulling the bumper off the car. And the only reason they didn't get the bumper off is because I guess the people had a Ring camera, so they started talking to them through the Ring camera. You know, some of these good Ring cameras, you could do that. You could talk to people through it. All of them can't do it, but some of them can. They ended up getting away stealing the lights, but they didn't get the bumper, which is what they went for. But because of all of these stolen vehicles, the police have put out a PSA. This is like, I think the third one they've done in like a couple of months. The first one was about children having inappropriate relationships with kids, and if somebody, you see it, tell somebody. I think the second one was about sexual assault. I think we played that yesterday. And so they put one out today about stolen vehicles, so let's take a look at that.
Hi, I'm Inspector Raphael Miller, a member of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and I am currently attached to the Stolen Vehicles section in the Criminal Investigation Department. Did you know that criminals are now using computer devices to reprogram vehicle systems, allowing them to access the security features in your vehicle, which makes it easier to steal? Here are a few safety tips to take proactive security measures to reduce the risk of theft. Install devices such as car alarms or steering wheel locks to deter criminals. Additionally, devices such as GPS tracking systems or kill switches aid in vehicle recovery. If you own a Japanese vehicle, avoid parking in the street and in open areas. If you do not have a secured yard, you should consider blocking in your vehicle or disabling it, whichever way you choose. Avoid dark or poorly lit areas, especially at night. Do not leave your vehicle running or with the keys in the vehicle. Remain vigilant and ensure that the doors are locked. The Royal Bahamas Police Force remains committed to combating vehicle theft and urges the public to report any suspicious activity immediately. Please take heed to these precautions. and join us as we continue to create safer communities.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. A couple of the things he said not to do, I do sometimes. I shouldn't admit that, but I have on occasion, if I'm just running in somewhere real quick, I probably shouldn't admit this because I know y'all gonna drag me, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I've left the key in the car. Like, because I didn't want to turn the car because I was only going to run in and get something. Don't do that. Don't do it, and I know it's wrong. And there's something that he didn't mention that I also do that I need to stop doing, is I linger. Right, that's what I do. I don't want the music to turn off, and I don't want the car to get hot, so I leave the AC on. All of that makes no sense, and I know it makes no sense. And as the words are coming out of my mouth, it makes less sense. But it is something that I still do, and I really do not. I need to stop doing that, and I hope you guys are not doing it. And the other thing that I do that I know is dangerous and I need to stop doing is I tend to linger in the car when I pull up places. Like, you know, because I don't like to use my phone when I'm driving, which you shouldn't do because it's against the law. But so when I get places, I'll check my phone, I'll check my messages, I'll check my email, and I'll just kind of linger and sit in the car while I'm doing that. And obviously I'm distracted, I'm not paying attention, I can't see if somebody is coming up on me. So that's something I think that they need to add to that PSA. We gotta stop doing that. I find a lot of women do that too, you know, or just sitting in the car trying to hurry up, grab things and not being vigilant and not paying attention. So yeah, I know I'm wrong for that. I know, I can stop, I promise. But it's not everywhere I go. But like, if I know I park in the car like right in front of a building and I could see it and I only gonna be in there for like a minute, it's not an excuse, and I understand that. Someone say, ain't nobody taking my police car. You're right. You're right. They probably think it's a police car. That's probably why it hasn't got stolen yet. And trust me, they ain't gonna steal that. The amount of gas that they have to put in that, they will bring that back expeditiously. As a matter of fact, they probably put some gas in it for me because my car stay on E. They ain't gonna get far. Trust me. But so the police did put out a PSA. So if you're doing any of those things, pay attention, be vigilant. Even though some of those tips, even though they're good, they cannot help because these thieves are robbing you in broad daylight. Remember the lady? I think she was sitting in her car though. And the guy tried to steal her purse and then they had a fight and then he stole the car in broad daylight. Then there was another one with, they threw the rock and they stopped and now they hit in your car. They literally ram in your car and then stealing your car. So I don't know how much that's gonna help, but I appreciate the police, you know, putting out little PSAs every now and again about things that are going on in the community. Speaking of things that's going on in the community, they have released some wanted posters. I know this one is not Friend because he's already in jail and I hope he's still there. And I really hope he could hear me from jail. But anyway, this guy is wanted by police for stealing. And I'm trying to figure out how, because dad is 61. 6'1". How is he being arrested for shop breaking? What shop that he was breaking into? So police are looking for Stephen Oswald Archer. His alias is Mario Love. I wonder how he got that name, or Archer. He's 61. Whose shop dad breaking into at 61? He broke into like a food place? You saying he was hungry like you knew? I really want to know what shop dad was breaking into because dad, you was 61. And like, shouldn't you retire at a certain age? 65, no, 60 is retirement age. He too old to be stealing, man. Like, and shop breaking? Shop breaking it means broad daylight, right? Isn't that what we learned yesterday? Burglary happens at night, shop breaking is happening at day. I don't know. But the point is, at some point you would think dad would retire. No, 61. Anyway, if y'all see dad, tell him turn himself in. I want a policeman handle him, okay? And I agree, comments. He really do look older than 61. Dad, if it's a life of crime, someone say he was stealing all his life. I know this one was stealing all his life, but the other one who I show y'all, he definitely was stealing all his life. But anyway, if y'all see dad, tell Stephen, turn yourself in, man. We ain't want the police to have to manhandle him. maybe for stealing food. Why y'all think it's food? Because he older? Y'all don't think old people could steal money? Or he might be stealing something to sell? Why y'all think it's food? But anyway, someone need to say that's Pookie Sr. But you don't think they have to retire at some point? I guess not. Anyway, that's the only wanted poster that, no, there was another one. But anyway, I don't think we have that one. But it was unknown. It didn't make sense because you couldn't see the person's face. It didn't have the person name. It was just unknown, 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 unknown. I don't know what, it was just unknown. So if y'all know where unknown is, y'all could also call the police and let the police know what happened. All right, let's move on to some court stories really quickly. I just got to go through these because we just have story after story after story. We also do have to talk about what's going on with BPL again because they was doing so well. And then they didn't anymore. But a Supreme Court judge has found a nightclub owner liable for an assault on a patron who suffered a hip injury and now requires total hip replacement surgery. I was very interested in this story. So Madam Justice Cheryl Bazard, KC, found Devin Sawyer. So he's the proprietor of Daddy D's nightclub. What it is? That's Nassau? Oh, in Harbor Island. Oh, okay. Daddy D's nightclub. Liable for the actions of 2 security guards. So he didn't even do anything. He is now liable for the actions of security guards because I guess he hired them, who apparently assaulted Hudson McLean in 2022. So the damages are going to be assessed by the registrar. So they haven't said what the damages are yet. But he sought $400,000 in general damages, $290,000 in special damages, and $50,000 in exemplary damages, along with $88,000 in fixed costs. I ain't not up. One of y'all in the comments, y'all could tell me how much that is, but that sounds like almost $1 million. It's almost $1 million, little less than $1 million, but y'all could add it up for me. So that's what he wants. The damages have not been assessed yet, but all right, we'll take a break. When we come back, I'll tell y'all exactly what happened in this story. And there's another court story today that I'm sure you guys are interested in. Someone got charged before the courts. A story that we was talking about all week. We'll talk about that when we come back. And like I said, what's going on with BPL today. We'll be back right after this.
Eye on the Nation will be back right after these messages.
Okay, guys, this is what we doing today. We training for the bounce back. This $150K payday. Y'all ready? Yes. Y'all sweating today. Give me a 2 ball. 10. Give me another 2 ball. 15. You spin, right? It don't look so. There's 10K. Name these games after me. Food Dragon.
Food Dragon.
Cinema Classic.
Cinema Classic.
Yeah. Put that parlay in. Put that in. You know, Jalen Brunson disappointed us last time. You want to walk for this or you want to run for this? Good pace. Good pace. Not too much water. Put it down. Let's go.
It's the Bounce Back 150K payday. Big wins for 10 weeks straight. 15K every week. 10K to a lucky winner. Visit islandluck.com for more info. Island Luck. Winners live here.
Okay, guys, this is what we doing today. We training for the bounce back. This $150K payday. Y'all ready? Yes. Y'all sweating today. Give me a 2 ball. 10. Give me another 2 ball. 15. You spin, right? It don't look so. It's 10K. Name these games after me. Food Dragon.
Food Dragon.
Cinema Classic.
Cinema Classic.
Yeah! Put that parlay in. Put that in. You know, Jalen Brunson disappointed us last time. You want to walk for this or you want to run for this? Good pace. Good pace. Not too much water. Put it down. Let's go.
It's the Bounce Back 150K Payday. Big wins for 10 weeks straight. 15K every week. 10K to a lucky winner. Visit islandluck.com for more info. Island Luck. Winners live here. It's time for Quick Draw. Get out your tickets now. We're playing Quick 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good luck!
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation. I'm Sandy Brown. If you're just joining us, Levin is not here today. It's just me today. He's not gone yet. For everybody who's like, oh, is Levin gone? No, he's not gone yet. He just decided he did not want to come to work today. And tomorrow. and tomorrow. But he will be here on Monday when we start our social media. When we start our, I gotta say social media competition just because I was reading something. When we start our search for our next co-host, which I'll remind you guys about, and we have an update on that too, but I'll remind you guys about it later on in the show. But I think we stopped at the nightclub owner who is now being held liable for an assault that took place in his club that now requires this guy to have a full hip replacement surgery. You know how bad you have to fight somebody or how hard you have to body slam somebody to break their hip? Like, do you know what a hip replacement surgery is? Did any of you guys add up the cost like I asked y'all to? Because y'all know I can't add. Hold on, let me look. I didn't look at the comments. Did y'all add it up to see how much it was? But anyway, before I go back to the comments, let me just finish the story really quickly. All right, so apparently McLean is saying that he was struck from behind by the security guards while he was speaking with Mr. Sawyer, who is the owner. He said he later found himself on the ground outside the establishment in severe pain. Medical examination subsequently revealed his right femur was fractured. They broke the man's hip. But Sawyer denied the allegations in his defense, maintaining that he was attacked by McLean and acted in self-defense. He also alleged that McLean was intoxicated and that the security did not attack him, but they merely intervened to separate the men and prevent the situation from escalating. So how his hip get break? Who broke his hip? Just saying. Who broke his hip? But one of the main reasons, which is another reason that you should pay attention to this story, that he was awarded his damages. We don't know what the damages are yet or why he won his case. Sawyer and them didn't even bother to show up to court. They gave no evidence. Apparently, the judgment noted that Sawyer's attorney appeared November 11, 2025 without Sawyer or any witnesses and advised the court that he had not prepared arguments. Then he left the court even after he was told that the trial will continue whether or not that he's going to be there. So as a result, McLean's witnesses gave evidence without being cross-examined, and no evidence was presented on Sawyer's behalf. He didn't even bother to go to court. He didn't even bother to testify. He didn't even bother to bring the security guards to testify on his behalf. So I guess he just won't pay the money. That's the only thing that I could say. I don't know if Bahamians think that if you don't show up to court, they just dismiss the matter. That's not what happens. And that's not what happened in this case. So the ruling also noted that Sawyer had previously pleaded guilty to causing harm and was fined $500. So he already pleaded guilty to causing harm to this man. So I guess that's why he moved forward with this civil suit, because he only got $500. Well, he didn't get the $500. The Crown got that $500. He also said that he needed $5,000 for an air ambulance, but the courts say they couldn't give him that because there was no record that he needed an air ambulance or that he paid for one. He also wanted, now this man is very greedy. Well, let me don't say that. Let me don't say that because I don't know, he might actually be in pain. I never had to have a hip replacement, but he already asked for almost $1 million. He's asking for another $45,000 for home care, but the court said he had no receipts for that, or invoices or payments that he had anybody come to the house. He also wants $155,000 in lost earnings, but the court also said absolutely not because he could not even prove what he earned for them to give him $155,000. So they're going to assess how much it is that he's going to get. I feel like he fall down to get, I don't know. He wanted them to pay for the hip surgery. He wanted them to pay for everything. He want a new house. He want a new everything. But anyway, like the people say in the comments, no face, no case. Just pay if you don't show up. Was he white? I don't know. It don't sound so. His name is McLean. Well, McLean. Yeah, that don't really sound like a Bahamian name. But I have no idea. Sunny, black is your color. Thank you. But y'all tell me stop wearing black? But when I say I like black, y'all tell me stop wearing it? Anyway, let's move it on because we do have other court stories that we have to get to. Hold on, there's so many things happening here at once. Oh, I accidentally closed the comments instead. So a man is awaiting sentences after he admitted to sexual assault and robbery. I saw this story a couple weeks ago, well, or maybe last week, but we didn't talk about it. I think we were supposed to. And then, you know, sometimes things get on this show and then we have to skip stuff because there's be a lot of talking and a lot of stuff going on in the show. But a man who admitted to breaking into his neighbor's home and sexually assaulted her days after a video of him begging her for forgiveness was played at his trial. So why you even waste the court time? Like, he recorded himself, like he sent a video to her admitting what he did and telling her he was sorry for what he did. But then you pled guilty and you went to trial. Did he think that, was it a one-time video? Did he think that she wouldn't save it? I'm not sure. But Raming, who was on bail during his trial, has now been remanded to prison to wait his sentences. So the victim will still give an impact statement, and the probation office has also been asked to prepare a pre-sentencing report. So I guess all of that would determine how much time that he gets, depending on what the victim says, whether or not she forgives him. I ain't sure she did, or whether or not he was keeping up with the terms of his bail condition will determine how much time he get in court. But this is a story. So according to police, on October 2024, Raming broke into the woman's New Providence home between 12 a.m. and 3 a.m. and then sexually assaulted her in her bedroom. Boy, y'all like sexual assault in this country. During the confrontation, Raming apologized to the woman while denying going into her children's room. So he even admitted to this when he was arrested and he was in police custody. This is what he said in the video. "I went straight into your room. I'm sorry, and I wish you could find it in your heart to forgive me, but I did not go into your children's room." What am I supposed to do with that? I guess I'm supposed to say thank you for not waking up my kids while you broke into my house and sexually assaulted me. I don't know how y'all brain is work. I don't know. Anyway, the woman also condemned him for pretending to be concerned over the incident when he was the culprit. So I guess now that they have the video, they're saying that he changed his plea to guilty. I mean, he had to. They have a video of him saying he do it. But most people will still waste the court's time. So now they have to try and figure out how much time he's going to get for that. This happened in 2024. I'm shocked that this even went to trial this early because, you know, we have a history here of things taking a very, very long time. We just read a story yesterday about a guy that's waiting his trial for sexual assault. And I think that happened in 2017, or was the second trial in 2017. It was 9 years, and he's still waiting on his trial, and that victim is still waiting for her justice. So I guess we should be happy that, you know, this didn't take an extremely long time. Okay, something that also took an extremely long time. Toby been doing this from I was a reporter. And I've been a reporter for like a good little minute now. I think I might still be on Toby's mailing list because he used to send out emails every day about this situation. If you don't know about this situation, I don't know if you've been under a rock. Toby been arguing about this for a very long time. So the Privy Council has rejected his claims that his company secured a 21-year lease over 5 acres of Crown land on Paradise Island. Now, I don't know if y'all remember how this story happened, and I'm trying to see if I could remember it the best I can, because this has been going on from a while, from 2012. So he's saying that he applied for a lease. He was going to put some sort of small entertainment restaurant club over there on Paradise Island. He was going to hire a number of Bahamians to work at it, and he applied for Crown land to get it. And he was going to, it's where the lighthouse is, and I think he said he was going to renovate the lighthouse. He was going to keep it there. I think it was supposed to be like 50 workers or something like that. Not sure of all the details, but he was going to have a small thing. And he applied for the land. Now, he's saying that going back and forth with the government, they told him that he could keep the land because he was going to restore and upkeep the lighthouse, and that they'd agreed to give him an approval of a 21-year lease. This is what he's saying. But apparently, nothing was ever signed, and then the government decided to lease that land to a cruise company. I don't know if we could call it, because I don't know if the name is in here. Is it? I see it. They decided to give it to someone else, a foreign company that promised to hire more Bahamians. So I think then the issue was, are they going to give the land to Toby, and he's going to hire cruise, what it is, cruise? Are they going to give it to Toby and, you know, allow him to hire the 50 Bahamians, or they're going to give it to the foreign company who promised to hire thousands of Bahamians? And that is what happened. They gave the lease to someone else, and he's been taking the government back and forth to court since then. If I remember, that's how the story pretty much went, right? Yeah, that's how the story pretty much went. And he's been going back and forth with the government since then, saying that they breached the terms of the agreement and that he was supposed to get the lease. I think the people don't even build what they wanted to build over there. I don't even know. But I think this was his last kind of ditch effort to get what he wanted. Yeah, the people already there. I just didn't want to call it, but the people already build whatever there. Bahamians already been hired. The thing already there. I have a couple friends who work there. You do? I need to go there. I hear they have a nice little day situation there. But anyway, Toby, I'm sorry. I think the Privy Council was the last ditch effort, and they rejected it. It wasn't that he had a bad plan, but I just think that 50 jobs versus how much people work there? Thousands? Hundreds? You say hundreds. Hundreds. It's just kind of, you know. Until we've been doing that for a very, 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 very long time. I think that's how the story goes. Let me see in the comments if y'all remember. Why is this work? Why is this doing like this? They're saying that the government's changed. I remember that because this was something that I think the agreement started under Christie, and then different things happened, and it was a lot going on. And you know, Toby isn't a bad person. I just think and they didn't sign anything. That's what I'm saying. I think it was they were in the middle of negotiations, and then something else happened. So. Sorry, Toby. Maybe he could still build something somewhere else. It just unfortunately ain't gonna be there. But I promise you one thing. I bet you Toby could be, when the house open again, he could be out there with his camera. He running up on somebody. Yeah, give him a little job. Ask him if he want to come apply. I think he'll make a good co-host. Y'all don't think so? No way. Okay. Anyway, so a former assistant manager, let's keep going on and what's happening in court news. Now, y'all know, usually it's me doing this, and then while he talking, all right, there you go. I find the stories. Boy, doing this by yourself, this is taking a lot out of you. You need more planning and preparation, which I should have done because I knew I was going to be by myself. Anyway, a former assistant manager at 700 Wines and Spirits who stole over $41,000 from the business will avoid jail time over a plea deal that includes her paying restitution. So this kind of sounds just like the other story that we talked about the other day. But this one has a little bit more twist and turn to it because it wasn't just the stealing. The woman, I think she was an accountant, so she was like stealing by reason of service, and she was maybe writing herself checks and doing whatever for that company. This person, Alexis Williams, stole $41,254.19 from the liquor store's location in Acklands. How much money, how much drinking y'all doing in Acklands? Very true. Very true. I didn't even know they had one in Acklands. I clearly don't respect Acklands enough to know that they actually even have a 700 Wines and Spirits in Acklands. But this is what they said. Not only did she steal the money, prosecutors allege the store was then set on fire by her girlfriend in an attempt to conceal the theft. And yes, I said that right. Y'all heard exactly how I said it, and that's just how it is written. So they say she stole the $41,000, and then allegedly her girlfriend tried to burn the building down so they wouldn't know that the $41,000 was stolen, so they would think that it would just burn up in the building. But it didn't work that way. The building did not burn down. They realized the money was gone. And then they found $22,500 of the stolen money in her freezer. She froze those assets. She put the money in her freezer. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't have checked the freezer for the money if I was the police. But the police clearly know better than me. So she had $22,000 in the freezer. Under the deal, the charges of arson and conspiracy to commit arson were dismissed. So y'all don't care about fixing y'all's stuff? Or the fact that she tried to burn down y'all's store to cover up theft? That's a little crazy. No? I would have just, you know what, let me don't do that. The people can say I talk on myself and y'all can call Shanta for me. So she has to pay $51,000 in restitution, and she'll be 2 years in probation. $50,000. That's just like a little loan. That's just like the next woman. She paid them $5,000 initially, and they didn't say how much she has to pay monthly. But I think the last one we figured out, like that woman had like 10, 20 years to pay off the money that she stole. They didn't say how much, what the agreement is here, but she paid them $5,000 initially. If she defaults on any of the payment, she will be jailed for 3 years. If she breaches probation, she will be jailed for 1 year. Hannah, the girlfriend, charges are still pending against her. Well, if y'all drop the charges of arson and conspiracy to commit arson on this one, y'all might as well let the girlfriend go. She was only trying to help the girlfriend. No? That's not how that works? Okay. All right. I just don't understand. Say she thinks to set it off me. I just don't understand. Burn down, though? You could imagine them sitting around that table coming up with that conversation. Let's just burn it down. Let's just burn it down? No? Anyway. Very dangerous. Very dangerous people. You really got to be careful who you... Someone say frozen money, that's cold. That's a good one. Let me contact Conway real quick. Clearly they have money to lose. Clearly. But anyway, moving on from that story, onto a story that everybody was talking about today, and a lot of people were saying, finally. And of course, you know, I cannot get into a lot. Oh, no. I think there's still another story I have to do before this. Yes. Since we're talking about Acklands, we might as well just do this story before we move on. Okay. So I don't know if y'all remember the police officer that got caught up in that drug raid a couple years ago. He already got charged. I think he was like what he was in the police. I think he was a part of the police association too. Anyway, when he got caught up, we're going to get all the information in a second. But 2 officers was allegedly caught up with that with him. But they ended up getting off the case. I think we have a clip from Eyewitness News. Let's play the clip.
And on to some other news. A legal victory is now being handed to 2 police officers who have been fighting to clear their names and repair their reputational damage. They say they suffered. The 2 officers found themselves at the center of a legal battle stemming from a drug case that ultimately saw their superior convicted. Our Jose Etienne joining us live in studio. Jose?
Janelle Arnold Cooper and Brandon Dean, 2 officers who were arrested with former senior policeman Sonny Miller in a high-profile drug case, were exonerated after Supreme Court Judge Justice Cheryl Bazard ruled today that the claimants were unlawfully arrested, were deprived of their rights, and suffered reputational harm. Now, this outcome stands in stark contrast to Miller's, where he was convicted of smuggling $1.4 million worth of cocaine and $34,000 worth of marijuana into Acklands in 2022 and subsequently sentenced to 6 years behind bars. As it relates to this case, 2 Colombian men pleaded guilty to drug trafficking in 2023 and were sentenced to 60 months in prison, reduced by 14 months in exchange for their testimony against Miller. Now, according to that 10-page ruling, Bazard noted that both Cooper and Dean were treated as suspects, although the defendants, Assistant Commissioner Roberto Goodman, then Chief Superintendent at the time, the Police Commissioner, and the Attorney General contend that the men were witnesses in this case. And that point was made as the ruling notes that the officers were in custody from the moment they were removed from duty and taken to the Drug Enforcement Unit in Nassau, despite no handcuffs being placed on them or detention records being shown. The ruling further notes that Goodman had reasonable grounds to suspect that serious drug offenses were being committed, which warranted an investigation. However, Bazard noted that the officers were not given a reason for their arrest as soon as practicable. Bazard also seemingly warned the police force about communications in such cases that she said could prejudice individuals' presumption of innocence. That said, both men are entitled to damages, and that amount will be decided by the registrar. Attorney Dr. K. Melvin Monroe represented the officers. Back to you, Janelle.
All right, thank you. That was our host.
Okay, so those 2 officers ended up getting off. It was Sonny Miller. They said it in the story. I don't know if y'all remember this story, but apparently they did this sting in Acklands when they found the cocaine and the marijuana. And Sonny Miller was there on the scene when the U.S. Coast Guard, was it the Coast Guard? Yeah, the U.S. Coast Guard helicopter came down, and then he pretended like he was arresting the 2 Colombian guys who couldn't speak English. So he was pretended like he was arresting them. But apparently they had been watching him for a while. And so the police, well, the U.S., already knew that he was a part of this. So when he tried to arrest them, they was like, no, we come for you too. And they took all of them. And I think he originally pleaded not guilty, but then the Colombian men, with the assistance of an interpreter, flipped on him and was like, he's the leader of this. I didn't see anywhere where these 2 men were implicated. I don't even understand. I don't even remember in the original story with these 2 other officers being arrested. But I'm glad they got to, I guess, clear their name. And I don't know if they can get their job back or if they're going to get any money. You think they could sue after that? I don't know. It's been going on for a while. And they were finally cleared. Sonny was... What was he in the police thing, man? He was the something of the staff association president or something like that. Anyway, he's still in jail. He got 5 years. He was the police staff association president. Thank you guys in the comments for clarifying that for me. But anyway, so they got off. So good for them. Okay, the story that I originally was going to talk about, but since we was just finishing up Acklands, we just finished that. Someone went to court today for a sexual assault matter that went viral over the weekend. Let me call the names. If I call the name, I cannot speak about the case, but y'all could put 2 and 2 together the same way social media put 2 and 2 together when this story first broke over the weekend. But now that someone has been charged, there's only so much that we can say now about the case. Okay? All right, so I'm just gonna say, and then y'all can put 2 and 2 together yourself. So 26-year-old Romeo Storr Jr. What? This say Storr. Is it Stewart or Storr? Because this story says Storr. Is it Storr or Stewart? I know. Romeo Jr. Was arraigned on 2 counts of rape in Magistrates Court number 9 before Acting Chief Magistrate Ancella Evans on Thursday morning. Now, the charges follow the circulation of viral voice notes purportedly capturing Stewart. So now they have Stewart. So they have Storr and Stewart. Y'all need to go and fix this story, Eyewitness. So it is Stewart. Purportedly capturing Stewart Jr.'s voice and allegedly detailing the sexual assault of an 18-year-old woman. Stewart Jr. was not required to enter a plea and was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. He is expected to return to court on February 4th, 2027 for a voluntary bill of indictment. Now, I would say this. I can't say much, but I'll say this. Anthony used to be everywhere terrorizing people. Because why? One of the first comments that I saw under one of the posts where he got arraigned was from you. I'm not going to repeat what you said. You could put it under here if you want to repeat it. But Anthony, why you just everywhere terrorizing people? But anyway, that was a good end, Anthony, and I could see you back in our comments terrorizing. It was an expected end to a story that a lot of people were talking about over the weekend. And if some people was asking why somebody else wasn't arrested and why somebody else wasn't charged. And Romeo, if you're mad at anyone, I hope you're mad at your mom. Because that's who I would be mad at. Just putting that out there. I guess we'll have to wait until next year to see what happens with this story. But we do have some comments from politicians about a lot of the sexual assaults that have been going on. We also have some of the video from what Papa Dem did last night. We didn't go, but we have some video. And what is going on with BPL and downtown. We'll talk about all of that when we come back from this break.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods, taste the difference.
We all know there are ways we can help. help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
It's time for Quick Draw. Get out your tickets now. We're playing Quick 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good luck!
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
I sat here and still wasn't paying attention. Welcome back to Eye on the Nation. I'm Sandy Brown. If you're just joining us, no, Levin is not here today, but he has not left. He just decided not to come to work today. So I am riding solo, but we're having a good time here as always. Still reading your comments, still very interactive. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what's going on with the search for the next co-host. A little later in the show, we did talk about it earlier, but for those of you who missed it, we have the final, well, something now. Final 5. Let's just say we still have the final 5. But before we jump back into what's making news, don't forget that with Canoe, Bahamian businesses can access their funds right at home, enjoy faster payouts, process payments 24/7, and move money at your convenience. So Bahamian business owners can accept payments online with Canoe, explore Canoe's API and invoicing features to get paid locally and internationally. Canoe is a Bahamian fintech helping local merchants accept payments fast and easy, and Canoe empowers entrepreneurs to get paid quickly and to grow. And if you're looking to unwind or detox, calm teas and a 14-day detox tea awaits you at herbalbeautysupplyconcepts.com or give them a call at 818-7831. All right, let's jump back into it. I am positive, you know what, before I say that, let me check and see. But Orinthia Komalafe sent out a statement and a voice note. I think we're going to play a little bit about the voice note about her concerns about some of the sexual assault cases and incidences, rather, that have been reported lately. I am sure that I saw one today. Was there one today, or that was the one I'm remembering from yesterday? But I'm almost positive that there were at least 3 in the past week or so. And so she sent her concerns, and this is what she had to say.
Good morning. This is Orinthia S. Komalafe, Shadow Minister for Social Services, Information and Broadcasting. Today is Thursday, the 20th of August, 2026. There have been far too many reports of sexual assaults in recent months. According to a news report, the Royal Bahamas Police Force is investigating the alleged sexual assault of a 21-year-old female which occurred on Wednesday night. This follows the alleged sexual assault of a 17-year-old girl on Monday evening after she left her grandmother's residence, and another alleged sexual assault a few days earlier of Friday last week, which has been widely discussed on social media. In less than 1 week, we have 3 alleged sexual assaults, and in all these cases, the victims received transportation assistance or rides from the perpetrators. This is significant in a country of our size, and seeing that a lot of sexual assault cases are not reported. The impact of these assaults on the mental and emotional health of victims is often long-lasting. It is clear that we have a serious problem in our society, as the victims of these sexual assaults range from the very young to the elderly as we have seen over the past months. Unfortunately, the trauma experienced by victims is often worsened by people and social media commentators who blame them rather than the perpetrators for these heinous crimes. While individual responsibility and due care should be encouraged, victims of sexual assault should not be further abused by individuals who seek to justify the alleged crime based on what they perceive as the negligence or recklessness of the victims or their family members. Nothing can justify the violation or sexual assault of another human being. No still means no in 2026 as it has always meant. A multifaceted approach is needed to stem this disturbing trend. As a nation, we must work together to eradicate this menace from our communities. The government, civil society, non-governmental agencies, schools and educational institutions, religious organizations, law enforcement agencies, neighborhood watch groups, and the family unit all have roles to play. We must return to the old landmark and the Bahamas in which we are brothers and sisters keeper. The village concept should be revived in our communities. We must look out for one another, be aware of our surroundings, and report suspicious activities. It cannot be business as usual in our country when it comes to the protection of our people from sexual assault. We must address the systemic issues that expose the vulnerable in our society to these violations. The Free National Movement remains committed to working with all stakeholders to devise strategies, implement initiatives, and promote awareness to eradicate this ill from our country.
You know, I like Orinthia. I mean, what she says makes sense. I just wanted to play something from her because y'all say we don't play the F&M. And she's the shadow minister for social services. So I felt like she had to say something. And what she said did make sense. That a lot of times, even in the same case that we were just talking about, where the young lady was allegedly sexually assaulted when catching a ride, before the voice notes went viral, if you went under the original post, people were blaming the young girl. It's the first thing that we do. Why is she catching a ride? They don't believe that she was blacked out. People were saying, oh, regrets. She probably had a little too much to drink and then did this. And it's the first thing that happens to us in our minds when something happens to a woman in this country. And that is what she's saying. We need to get out of the culture of victim blaming. And yes, while there is some personal responsibility that I think that we need to have, which I wanted to say to someone, thank you, Orinthia, for reminding me. There was a clip that was posted on social media where I said that we were talking about the alleged incident. And I said that you have to also be careful who your friends are and make sure that the people who you have in your company, make sure the people that you have around you are also protecting you. And somebody commented under it and said, oh, we need to stop. Because I said, and I made an example when I said when I was in college, we always used to make sure that we had somebody who was the designated driver, or if one of us was getting wasted, somebody else had to stay sober because we were protecting each other. And somebody commented under it and was like, oh, you act like something like you've never been a teenager and you've never made bad decisions and we need to stop victim blaming. That's not victim blaming. And when I was doing that stuff, I was a teenager. I was 17 when I was in college. And I was drinking a little bit before that. But that's not the point. I still had enough sense to know what to do and what not to do in certain circumstances. And I also did not blame the young lady for what happened to her because it is never her fault. Being sexually assaulted is never the woman's fault. It is always the man's fault. The only thing that I was trying to say is be careful of the people who you have around you and make sure that if you are in a position where you cannot look out for yourself, that you have someone who will look out for you. That's all that I was saying. Nobody is victim blaming. Sometimes you just have to look out for other people. And that's also what Orinthia was saying. Stop victim blaming. Stop every time these sexual assaults come out, even with when we have these things with the missing girls. And you read some of the comments, it's disgusting. It's disgusting where our mind automatically goes to. This weekend, honestly, was the first time that I was actually proud of the reaction that Bahamians had to a sexual assault case. And that was only because we all heard the voice notes. They were undefendable. Like, you just couldn't defend those. Like, even if you wanted to, you couldn't. But I'm just saying, you know, I agree with Arinthia. We need to somehow change the concept of how we think in this country and stop victim blaming and everything is always the women's fault, and start holding these men responsible for their actions, because at the end of the day, they are grown men who should be able to control themselves. So maybe dads and moms need to have more conversations with their kids, with their sons, about this kind of thing. Because it is just, it's just happening too often now. I don't know if it's just being reported more, but it's sickening that in 3 days we had 3 sexual assaults. One was from someone knew, and then 2 strangers. Anyway, she was doing well till she said the F&M. You know, she also still PFP and DNA. So you could say she's for everyone. Yeah, and then women are afraid to speak up because of that same thing. Because when you come out and somebody somehow, they find out who you are, because social media out in everybody these days. Social media, I mean, if one person know, your face everywhere. People are afraid to come forward because of things like this. And sometimes it's the women in the comments that are most disgusting, by the way. Some of the things that I see women say about other women, we already have to fight the men. Do we have to fight each other? Just asking. Anyway, we have other things to talk about. And I do want to open up the phone lines at a decent time today. So we're aiming for 5:30. I still have a slew of things to talk about, but we're going to try. I promise you. So I'm going to move on. So remember, we told you guys yesterday that the F&M was having their conclave. They were having different things this week celebrating the 1992 victory of the Free National Movement. Well, we didn't go last night, but Castro went. Castro, you gone? Castro went, and she represented Eye on the Nation. Castro, I gotta watch you. We do have a clip of Papa speaking, though, which is why I think that a lot of people went, because they wanted. I didn't see him at any of the other events, but there's a little clip. There he is. There's a little clip with him on social media that was going around with him talking about what happened at the last election and some other little things that I think that F&Ms need to listen to, because when other people say it, I don't think nobody heard it. But hopefully now that Papa said it, that now y'all can pay attention. This is what he had to say.
Something. And so, simply stated, the public did not like what we offered. Now, we may disagree with the public, but they are the ones who make the decisions. They don't like what we offered. So let's get busy preparing to win the next. Let's go in search of, and let's find all those F&Ms who strayed or gone silent. Bring them who scattered to different places and unite for us to win. Bring back their children and their grandchildren, and bring others, new people, into the party. Except one day, you have to inspire people to want to be with you. You can't force them to be with you. Whitfield was a damn good man, but he couldn't win. Isaac was a good man, he could not win. He did not win. And they decided themselves, that they could not win. They looked for somebody who could win. Your job is to find who could win for you.
Y'all heard him? Because when other people said y'all just get mad, you know, y'all only listen to Papa. The first thing that he said was that people were uninspired by the candidates that y'all had. They did not like the choices. That's what we told y'all from the beginning. When we first started and we was like, who's this person? And who's this person? And where did this person come from? And then y'all had them running up against well-known people. And nobody knew who they were. And they didn't put themselves out there. They didn't. Y'all had one, maybe two well-known people, and one was technically, I still think, foreign. But we ain't going back down that road, because y'all already say that I be hating on the man and I be saying all kind of things about the man. But we ain't going back down that road. But he said that people did not like the choices that were put forward and they were not inspired by the choices. Absolutely correct. Then he said, y'all need to bring people who people want to actually vote for. And then he said, and we need some new faces, new young talent. And then I hear the people in the background screaming something that I was like, y'all, are y'all listening to what he's saying? Because what y'all screaming in the background, y'all heard the name they were screaming in the background? If he's telling y'all, see, if he's literally telling y'all need new people that are going to inspire, and y'all in the background screaming somebody named who could not win the election. Man, come on, man. Come on. And I ain't even trying to beat up on y'all, because I honestly believe that the revamping should have already started. Like, we should have already seen new people coming out. We should be seeing things. Things should be happening. But then y'all keep coming to us with the same people who we rejected. No one is inspiring any confidence. Where's the PR team? Y'all need to hire somebody. Hire some people who know what they're doing. Because what's happening now, it's like it ain't sticking. I don't know what's happening. And if y'all keep doing this, BPL could be off for a month straight and people will still vote the PLP back, because there's nobody in y'all team that's inspiring anybody. Honestly. People thought that this election was, they handed it to y'all. When was the last time? 1997, when people won back to back? Everybody just automatically assumed y'all was going to win. It was handed to y'all and y'all still. Come on, man. Come on. If y'all read the underline, I don't want to say what Papa's saying, but I can tell y'all what Papa's saying, what I think Papa's saying. But I don't want to say it, because then y'all can say it's me. But I can read the comments and I can tell y'all what the people in the comments say Papa say. So then y'all can't say I say it. You understand? Get where I'm coming from? Somebody say Papa telling y'all Pintard can't win an election. That's what they say. I didn't say that. They say in the comments that that's what Papa say. Somebody else say, Pintard, that doesn't sound too good for you. But y'all that had people in the background, people were still saying, was I hearing things, or people were screaming Pintard name in the background? I swear I heard Pintard name still being screamed in the background. I don't know. Someone say, now he tells them. How y'all know he didn't tell them before and they just didn't listen? I don't know. I ain't telling y'all. He can tell me. I say, y'all heard what Papa say. Y'all take what he say and how he say it the way that y'all want. I know what I heard. Y'all tell me what y'all heard. Okay? Say every time you see Papa in election days, he wasn't even wearing red. It was one time. I think he had on yellowy or blue. He had on blue one time, and people was trying to figure out why Papa had on blue. But anyway, I ain't gonna tell y'all. I'll let y'all figure it out. Y'all could go back on social media and see, and then go and look through the videos and the pictures that they put up about the events that was happening this week, and see who was in the crowd and see who was on the panel, and see if y'all were inspired. Please use these next 4 years to find some people that are going to inspire people. Please. Because this ain't it. Okay? I don't understand why Pintard's still giving press conference. He's still the leader of the official opposition. He's still, I don't. Anyway, we're moving on from them. I think that was the last event, or maybe they have another event. And they had cake and stuff for Papa, so that was very nice. That was very nice of them. I wish them the best. I really do. I really do. Because nobody wants to have a government with no opposition. You know, and a strong opposition means that you have a strong government, because it forces them to do the things that they say they're going to do. And we need someone to hold the government's feet to the fire. We need someone to keep them accountable. So I want to have a strong opposition. But this ain't it. Sorry. Anyway, let's move off of them. Sonny, I think Ingram wanted them to win this one. You know what? We coming off of this. We coming off of this because I could spend too much time on this, and we still have a lot of stuff going on. So BPL acting up again. Now, I don't know if to say lucky for us or not lucky for us, but it looked like the acting up is affecting Bay Street. So it's affecting businesses. So I don't want to say lucky because obviously the people that have businesses and they cannot run their businesses if the shop hot and the credit card machine ain't working, because most tourists that come off the ship or shopping downtown using credit cards, or, you know, if they can't get the lights on in their store. But it ain't residential for once. It seemed so. BPL sent out a statement. Let me go pull up the statement really quickly. So they sent out a statement about what was going on affecting downtown Shirley Street and East Hill Street. Now, where I was on Shirley Street, I'm kind of at the end of Shirley Street or the beginning, depending on who you ask, closer to Montague. We weren't off, but it was a lot of dipping in and out all day. So it's not the entire Shirley Street that was affected, but it seemed like Bay Street was affected. We have a clip, but before I play the clip, I'll read to you what BPL said in their statement. So they're advising customers in downtown Shirley Street, East Hill Street, and the surrounding areas who have been without power since yesterday, apparently, that technicians are preparing to recommence repairs to an issue associated with the East Hill Street substation. So the East Hill Street substation provides powers to people between Collins Avenue, Marlborough Street, as far south as Vesey Street. I have no idea where that is, and a major portion of the downtown area. Now, BPL technicians have identified the issue through proactive monitoring. An additional equipment concern was discovered when crews worked to establish an alternative supply route through the Awaki substation. All of that is to say something wrong with the first substation. They tried to reroute the power through the Awaki substation, but then they realized that they needed additional things to do that, so they couldn't do that. So repairs began again today at 12:30, and they say it's going to take about 6 hours to complete. So that means they should be almost on now. Are they? Let me check their page. They say y'all should follow their page for the latest updates. Hold on, let me go on there. You know, they have their channel that I keep telling y'all that I think y'all need to follow. So this was the last update that they sent at 5 o'clock. So this one came 30 minutes ago. Good afternoon, customers. And they have a little video, or someone just messaged say ain't on yet. They have a little video of the people working. So they want to show y'all that they working. You can't see that video, but go in the app. Y'all can see the video in the app. They have a little video of them working on the issue. And then this is what they say, which is attached to the video. Good afternoon, customers. We wish to advise that the restoration efforts for downtown Shirley Street and East Hill are progressing. That means it's still off, but they're still working on it. The team has successfully repaired a damaged lead. Restoration efforts remain underway. More updates will be given as information is made available. They ain't have no time and they can turn y'all back on, but they trying. That was the last thing that they said. They trying. But of course, you know, people are very, very frustrated. Eyewitness News went downtown today to speak to some of the business owners down there to see how, you know, the power outage is affecting them. And I think we do have a clip of that.
Power troubles continue to cripple the downtown area since yesterday afternoon, and the Supreme Court isn't the only entity feeling the brunt of it. Multiple businesses here in the tourist hub remain without electricity, and upset operators say it's costing them lots of money.
Like, AC was, when I got here this morning, everything was off. I had to enter my building through the back, and AC was completely off, which means that the building had time to heat up. In other words, it's been off a while. And it's now, I've been here from 8 o'clock this morning. It's now after 12. That's another 4 hours on top of it, which is diabolical. It's ridiculous. 4 hours for an outage, sure, but over 12? In the biggest city of Nassau, basically, the biggest moneymaker of Nassau.
Downtown is a city, but I know what you meant. I know what you meant. You was hot. That's why you say downtown was a city. And he said that was at 12, and what time it is now? 5:30, and they still off. They don't know generators downtown, though? Do they? I know. I don't go downtown. I haven't been downtown in a long time. I drive downtown, like through downtown to get to work in the morning, but like actually go downtown, the parking situation, the cluttering, the buy my bag is just too much be going on there. I don't know, the last time I've been downtown, Roadblock? They have Roadblock down there. Oh. Woo! And speaking of Roadblock, I mean, this thing have nothing to do with this or whatever, but you remember yesterday when people were saying that Shirley Street was all blocked off and they was trying to figure out where the traffic was? Well, apparently they were trimming trees. I think we mentioned that. But the people them, the word on the street is the people them was trimming the trees in the daytime to prove a point. Because they ain't working overtime. And so that's what I was told. Sonny, that's what the tea is. Now, I don't know how true it is, but the tea is that it was done intentionally to frustrate people to say, see, oh, this is what they do with the overtime. That don't account for 20 million. But that what the people say. That what the people them was saying. That what the people them was saying. They ain't working no shift system. They already said they ain't working no shift system. They already tell y'all come and get that shift system foolishness out of their face. I almost cursed just now and all. The people them say they're not doing it. It's not a part of the industrial agreement. I don't know when the next industrial agreement has to be negotiated, but geez, whoever the negotiator is, make sure y'all put that in it. Because we can't afford 20 million again. And the teachers can't even get the little 20% raise. Lord, give the people the 20% raise. Well, anyway, the Prime Minister spoke to the press yesterday about what was going on with BPL. We have several clips. I think the first one that we have is when people asked him about holding managers accountable, the conversation that we had yesterday, because everybody, and I think everybody agrees that these guys are not paying themselves this $300,000, $400,000 in overtime payment. They're also not signing their own checks. They're also not signing off on the time. Anybody who's worked at any company knows that overtime has to be signed off. I know when I used to work downstairs, I used to have to write my overtime in, and then the one manager had to sign it, and then it had to go to another manager before it goes to the HR department or accounts. So basically everyone is like, people had to agree to this. Even the BPL people say, y'all mad at us, but we didn't pay ourselves. And this was the question that they had with the Prime Minister. We got to take a break. When we come back, we have his answer, and he's also going to talk about why JoBeth Colby in here. I saw her in a video. I can tell you about that video too. That's a little tea. I should have had that video to play. That would have been Trapsy. But we'll be back, y'all, right after this.
Imagine an event where entry is as effortless as a wristband scan. Calling all businesses and event organizers because selling tickets has never been smoother. With Canoe, effortlessly sell tickets online and accept payments via debit cards, credit cards, Canoe Wallet, or even Sand Dollars. From payment links to QR codes, track your sales digitally, making event organization a phenomenal experience. And that's not all. Canoe is giving you more. If you're offering food, drinks, or must-have merchandise at your event, Canoe takes it to the next level. Customers can seamlessly pay using wristbands, QR codes, or their Canoe digital wallet. No more long lines, no more waits. Just happy customers and a boost in sales. With Canoe, your event becomes a breeze. Cashless, worry-free, and simply unforgettable.
Nassau on All Family Island. Get ready on Saturday, November 7th, when The Secret Production presents Culture Shock 2026, starring The Fireman, Campbellton, The Cultural Warrior Sizzler,
Dry cry, even tears, even my heart cry,
and Anthony B. Saturday, November 7th, at the Nassau Cruiseport Amphitheater. For Skybox inquiries, call 242-552-7505. Get your tickets now.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
It's time for Quick Draw. Get out your tickets now. We're playing Quick 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good luck!
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation. I'm Sandy Brown. I know I said I was going to open the phone lines right now, but I finished in these last couple of stories, and then we can open up the phone lines, and y'all can talk about whatever it is that y'all want to talk about. And I'm still going to tell y'all about that first round and our 5 finalists that we have. But I do want to do some little cleaning up. Rochelle, child, I never knew where VZ Street was to know that it was VZ, but thank you for the correction. So apparently it's VZ Street, and that's where the Grantstown Post Office is on Blue Hill Road. Why do we always have these streets and they didn't spell how it looked like Vesey? But thank you for the correction. And thank you, Nova. I did not drink a Red Bull today, so I don't even know how as hyper as I am. Anyway, someone said, Charles Sonic, I was wondering why traffic was like that yesterday. Shirley Street was a mess. Someone said traffic was not moving. It was diabolical. I hate to let y'all know now, they back there. Someone just sent me a photo. They back there. So if you do not have to travel down Shirley Street, the tree trimming people are back, okay? And they back there and they trimming the trees again. Just so happens right before people are about to get off. Somebody also messaged me and asked me about the airport road. So apparently traffic, lots of police and speed cops on the airport road. And the traffic is blocked from Adelaide heading to Michael. Now I did see something that was going around. I don't know how true it is. With a poster that's saying that police was doing some sort of clean sweep operation today. So maybe that's what that is. I'm not sure. If any of y'all in the comments know, then y'all could let me know what is going on. But let's finish so we could open up the phone lines. So like I was saying with BPL, everybody was asking if the managers were also going to be held accountable because somebody had to sign off on these workers working all these hours, these alleged hours, because nobody actually believed they worked 90 hours in 3 days. Working all these alleged hours, and if the managers were going to be held accountable. And this is what Prime Minister Davis had to say.
Philip Davis also sidestepping questions over whether his government plans to take further action against the management of Bahamas Power and Light following millions of dollars in overtime payments to BPL staffers. Davis, during a national address, called the nearly $20 million overtime payout in 2025 an, quote, abuse, particularly as transmission and distribution work is now the responsibility of the Bahamas Grid Company. But when pressed on whether management at BPL should face consequences over the massive payouts, the Prime Minister stopped short of detailing any further action. Davis insisted that the matter has already been addressed. The response comes as questions remain over how such a significant overtime bill was allowed to accumulate at a time when the government continues to deal with the fallout from BPL's ongoing operational and financial challenges.
Government responsible.
I'm not answering that question.
Can you say
I gave a national address on the subject matter. I laid out what I perceive to be the issues, and they'll be dealt with.
Are you concerned over the work to rule issue?
I'm not concerned about it.
Not brave. Come on, man. People hot and they tired, and BPL still ain't working. And then y'all turn around and tell us y'all spending $20 million a year. And let's be honest, and I gladly been in here for this because he's the only person that enjoyed that speech, but it was not inspiring. It was very lackluster. It did not answer any of the questions Bahamians wanted to know. And I think that that is a valid question. It is a valid question. What's happening? Even if you had said, we're in talks with the management of BPL, with the CEO, with the CFO, with the CEO, whatever it is, and we're going to come back, say something, but then don't just be like, I answered that, because you didn't. You didn't. That speech was boring, and it said nothing. Nothing that we didn't already know. And it was not inspiring, and it gave no hope. And I just think it's kind of rude, to be honest. You could have answered. You could have answered. You could have answered. We want to know because it's our money. Not only is it our money paying these exorbitant BPL bills, when y'all give y'all little subsidies to BPL because BPL can't take care of themselves, you know what money that is too? That's y'all money because y'all just pay customs. I don't shop. But that's our money. That's the point. That's our money. Anyway, he also defended why JoBeth Colby has been silent on it. I thought she was away. I saw a video of her standing in a wedding. Very nice wedding. I'll tell you that. I wish I had screen grabbed that video because that bride was giving out very nice gifts to the people in the bridal party. Did you see that? I saw that LV. I was like, can I be in the bridal party? But she went away. I mean, the woman entitled to have a vacation. You can't go on vacation when BPL ain't working. Because she's the minister. She ain't necessarily running the company. But the people asked, where JoBeth? Where is JoBeth Colby, the one and only? And this is what the Prime Minister had to say.
Topping news tonight, as Bahamians continue to grapple with frequent and prolonged power outages, Prime Minister Philip Davis is making it clear that he will be the one held accountable for the government's response to the country's ongoing electricity crisis. Davis's comments comes as questions continue to mount over the absence of Minister of Energy JoBeth Colby Davis, who has yet to directly address the nation outside of press statements as consumers battle through repeated blackouts. This despite previous assurances by Colby Davis that the grid would be ready for the summer. The outages continuing to disrupt daily life for families and putting additional pressure on businesses already feeling the financial impact of the unstable power supply, with questions being raised over who should be answering for the country's power problems. The nation's chief making his position clear.
The buck stops here. Okay. And that's the answer you'll give to those who are concerned about whether she is quiet or not.
Listen, you know what? Let me read the comments, okay? Someone say, Sonny, please stop. Why are you worrying about the speech being boring? Let me tell y'all something, people who are not in politics, right? I don't know if y'all know how politics works, but a part of being a politician is also knowing how to inspire people to believe in you. You're supposed to be able to sell me. I ice in Alaska. Like, you supposed to be, as a politician, you have to inspire people. And the speech was not it. When you have people that are sitting in darkness for such a very, very long time, and they can't take their medication, and the children crying because they hot and the food spoiling, and they still got to get up and go to work and are expected to perform the next day after having 2 hours of sleep. A speech is important. It is very important. I don't know why. Papa just said that with the F&Ms. Why is it that I could say that about the F&Ms, but I can't say that about the PLP? I could say the same thing. The speech was not inspiring. I didn't say something was wrong with him, but that wasn't Latreille's best speech, if he write that. It wasn't. Not when people been fighting with high power bills and no electricity. The people in, what it is, Grand Key, what the place name, they've been off for 4 days, 4 weeks, whatever it is. Come on. And then y'all turn around and give us $8 off? Like, stop now. Like, I know y'all have alliances to different political parties and y'all have to defend who y'all have to defend, and that is great. But you have to be able to call a spade, man. That speech wasn't it. I would have rather him just not say anything. Only you and Mussy Levin thought that speech said something, because everybody else said it was uninspiring. You have to be able to inspire me or let me believe that something is happening, and then right after the speech, the people, the downtown ain't had no power for 2 days? That man said he'd come to work and his shop was so hot because the power was off the whole night, and the power is still off. Anyway, y'all please, okay? Someone say Bahamas, great people is the issue. Y'all do understand that. This is what I don't think y'all are understanding. We don't care if it's BPL, we don't care if it's BC, and we don't care if it's Bahamas Grid. We want the problem fixed. I don't want to know who to blame. I want the problem to be fixed. I don't care who it is. Is the problem fixed? Is it? You know why it's not fixed? Because I just gone back into this app because I was trying to see if there was another update from BPL, and it was. And the next update for them is, your power's still off in other areas. So Stapleton, Millennium, Fort Charlotte, Golden Isles, and Bellot Road. See, that's why I can't worry about speeches. Because when I go home, I won't be able to lay down and make AC after coming and round with y'all all day. You know, today was good because I had to row with Levin. So I should sleep well tonight. I'm a little wine, I'm a little tequila. But still saying, you know? Anyway. It was a national address, not a speech. A national address. Okay, a national address. That make you feel better that I said national address and not a speech? The speech is still what he had to read during the national address. They could hear you, you know. They could hear you. But anyway, let's open up the phone lines. Y'all want to row with me? Come row me, or row with me. 323-7775. I just see the time. I forgot. I told y'all. 323-775. 323-775. Someone say, today was good because you and Levin ain't round. People like us rowing. For some reason, they love it. 323-7775, 323-7775. I'll get to some of the comments. And then let me remind y'all about the search. We're going to go to the phone first? Yeah, okay, let's go to the phone first. Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Sonny.
Hey.
Yeah, I just want to talk on the whole sexual assault increase situation.
Go ahead.
How is it that every one of us possibly knows a sexual assault victim, but never the rapist?
They know them. They just cloak them and they protect them because it's their good son, or you know he ain't like that. You know, I don't believe that. The girl was probably just fast, or she asked for them. You know, we make up all kind of excuses for these no good men. We know them. We just protect them.
Well, this is my stance, and I hope people will start following it. We need to start chemically castrating these cretins.
Well, you know how I feel about these things. The people tell me.
That's it for me.
Yeah, the people tell me they could call the UN for me. Thank you, but I we could castrate. We don't even have the chemically. We could regularly, you know, normally. 323-7775, 323-7775. Say, Levin right here watching you sipping water. He's sipping something. It probably ain't water. Bring Pike back, sit down, and have negotiations. I ain't taking Pike on our run, to be honest. Honestly, boy, what do people say? You never miss the water till the well run dry. I didn't even realize how important it was until it was gone. Unless somebody sabotaged. And I see y'all in the comments keep saying that y'all think that it was sabotage. Sandy finally learned a number. No child. They put it up on the screen. See, that's how I know it right there. 323-7775. The predatory list ain't come out because y'all gonna be shocked that y'all favorite pastor and politician name on it. And like Bahamians, we love to blame other people. And then even in certain circumstances, I could tell y'all that I knew someone that did something to somebody. And this person was popular. And so because the person was popular, nobody wanted to believe that the person could do it because, oh no, they're so... Y'all realize people could have two faces, one behind closed doors and one... Y'all know? Y'all know? Thank you very much. And this one, I would never understand that one. He didn't even serve his time. He came out early because he said he was sick. That's when I knew that we weren't serious because that was a child. That was a 13, 14 or something like that. Child, I can't call it because, but just know, that's when I know we weren't serious about protecting men and women in this country. Before we go, because time is running out, I will let y'all know about, going back to the phones first? Do it first? Next week, we're starting officially auditioning, I guess you could say, auditioning, co-hosts that are coming on the show. So we do have a lineup. Now, can I say that the person is in? I can? So somebody has removed themselves from the running. I won't say why because, I won't say why, but someone has removed themselves from the running. The lone girl, the woman that was going to audition is no longer auditioning, and she was supposed to be on Thursday. So I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out later if she's going to be replaced with someone else that was a runner-up in the ones that applied, or if the day is just gonna not. I don't know how it's gonna go, but she won't be there on Thursday anymore. But these are our 4 now, finalists that will be in next week. So they will come and they will sit on the desk. They'll sit right here with Levin and I, and we'll see how it goes. We'll feel them out and see if we have some sort of chemistry, if they are knowledgeable, if you guys like them. That plays a big part as well because, you guys are us. We cannot be us without y'all. And then y'all could let us know how y'all feel about them. Then from those 5, then 2 will be chosen to come back. And they will just sit on the desk with me so we can see how my chemistry is with them without leaving. But then that's also not the finals. So even if you still want to apply, you can still apply because this is just the first round. So then there'll be a second round. So you can still apply if you want, if you know anybody who wants to come on the show, man or woman, professional, non-professional. I mean, I say professional, I mean like in the business. You still have to be some sort of professional. You can still apply. You can go on ILTV's page, Eyewitness News page, and they will, there's a link there, and you fill out the link, and you do a little 60 seconds, I think it is, a 60-second video of why you want to be on a show, why you think you make a good addition, or if you want to just talk about a topic that is relatable, like how I just sat here and talk about some stuff, so we could kind of see if you know that. And then, what's that, the phone? Oh, yeah. And so let me just go through this quickly before we go back to the phone lines, or should I go to the phone and then do it? I'll finish it. The first person on Monday is Nathan Johnson. On Tuesday, we have Brian Ramming. On Wednesday, it's going to be Jay Philippe. Thursday, like I just told y'all, she's no longer in the runnings. And then Friday, we're going to have Stephen Hanna. So those are the contestants, our first round. I'll let y'all know if somebody else is going to step in. We'll talk a little bit more about that in this. Yes, management decides competition. Yes, it's a job. It's a job. But the reason that we're bringing them on is because we have to do a live test. Because, some people are good separate. but not with somebody else. You know, Levin and I had to do a test. We did a test. It wasn't live though, and we had to do a test, and then management had to decide whether or not they liked us together. But we're just involving y'all in this test. It's not a social media competition. It's actually a job. This is a job. You got to do well. Okay, but we just want our nationers to be a part of our decision. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Sonny. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It wasn't about if you being judgmental or victim shaming, but, you know, sometimes persons need to hear reality.
Yeah.
You know, especially young girls, because they're innocent and they always want to believe the best in people.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say, you know, it took for that voice note going out and people, I think the public hearing it for themselves, for them to have that reaction to really, you know, to get this thing moving. And I would hope that it would be a lesson for men and women to be very, very careful going forward with trusting people, even catching rides. And, you know, the awareness is out there once again, but to actually hear, even for the girls to hear the way men speak about you. You know, and I think that's a good thing. And you know, don't you have the platform.
Yes.
Please use it, because sometimes people, they don't appreciate these things, but you need to hear it. You know, we need to hear it. The young girls need to hear it. Some women need to hear it. Some men, young men need to hear it as well. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
And stay safe.
All right, I appreciate that. Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right. Look out. I get on state banks, BBLM, I know Leo and Rock when people call them and they call it one call more. I been over Milwaukee, the ATM machine from 12 o'clock, and the power gone off to my, they take my car off my money to come out. I just left them out there like 5:20. They put 5 hours and 20 minutes out there, waiting to speak that no one get that machine to get my money. The police officer up, not me, but I can't park here and can't park there. They put they park in their car there to go in the station. I ain't got no place and they run off. They write me up. I get a 4 ticket. I get my move my car. They write me all do whatever you want to do for a record. I ain't for that. Chief banks and BBLF, you can't call that because they sending you this and sending you that. They 4:45 in the day when the bank closed, they still telling the 15 people ahead of you and telling me from 12:20 in the day, 1:45, 15, 14 people ahead of me.
Yeah.
And that ain't making no sense because I don't know what these banks them doing, but they ain't making no sense. You can't be 12 people ahead of me 1 o'clock in the day and 15 after the bank closed.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I that's crazy to wait outside the ATM for 5 hours. That's crazy. All right, well, hopefully they get the problem fixed for you. Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Sonny.
Hey.
I must give you kudos today. You handled yourself well today, Mom.
Thank you.
I like what you were saying. But another thing, too, the J Police person who you are supposed to be doing on Vanna State.
Yes, sir.
Is that the same person out of run and being in Grandstand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good thing.
Yeah.
But and the last thing, Levon.
Ian, yeah.
Okay, listen to me now. This thing with Mr. Ingram saying that the FNM needs a new leader.
Don, what he say?
Well,
Let's
he might
put y'all
have
there.
said it.
That man did not say that.
He said it in a good way.
He didn't say that. That's what you heard, but Don, what he say? But continue.
Okay, but whoever start hanging around him, and he goes in the convention with them holding on his hand, they becomes the next leader of the FNM. And I sure it ain't going to be Mr. Pintard, and I sure it ain't going to be Dr. Dwayne Sand. He's looking for a young somebody who he could control from whom.
Well, I know, but control. But I think he.
I mean, somebody who listen to, who will take advice from him. Then.
Yeah, I think they just want someone who they think the public likes, who the public will resonate with.
Dr. Minnis finally realized his era is now over. Because anytime you see Mr. Ingram step back up, this Ingram time again. Ingram will pick.
Okay.
So Dr. Minnis just finished now.
All right. Thank you, caller. Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Sandy.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
You're gonna miss Ivan. But you know, as you talked briefly about the situation with that recent person who was arraigned today on that rape matter, and they had a video. You know, what was shocking and appalling to me was to hear him recounting to this female, and she's just talking to him and the head that is probably a mother-son relationship. I'm like, what has our country come to?
Yeah.
I went to that level of conversation with your child, and for you to be gloating on something like that. Come on, as parents, who are we raising? We should be raising princes and kings.
Yeah,
I want to treat women like
I just want to correct you.
Queens.
The police have not tied those two things together yet, and now that someone's been arraigned, we can't say certain stuff. But I will say that in that conversation that you're talking about, it was a misconception that he was talking allegedly to his mother. That was not his mother in the conversation with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just even if it wasn't his mother, another woman to hear, listen to me, what is our country coming to? But then resting abound. Thank God for God's grace.
Yeah. All right. Hi, somebody else? Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I'm hot and bothered.
Yeah. Oh, gee. Power off, eh?
From 4 o'clock this morning, and
Which area is that you're in?
Pastel Garden, and nobody will make a statement.
Well, so we're out of people now. How, from what time? 4 a.m. to now?
4 a.m. to now.
I didn't see nothing in their thing about Pastel Gardens. They must don't know it. Did you call?
He called them, but you get the machine.
Oh wow. BPL Pastel Gardens off.
And you know what's so jokey about it? Come down, when you go pay your bill, you got this exorbitant fee for something that you did not use. Man, these people can cost right in this country, you know.
They could give us another $8 in another year and a half. In another year and a half.
Only because I trying to be a Christian, I ain't gonna
man, don't cost us get irked, okay? We ain't have no money to pay.
You don't worry about it. I could just like my government, I just voted in all them full of shit.
Oh, I just tell you, sir, don't. Come on, man. I know y'all upset because it's hot, but y'all gotta be careful. This is a live show. Come on, man. Y'all, they real. Okay? And I apologize to our listeners. I've tried to stop it before it happened. But y'all just don't turn this station into another government. Ain't nobody bashing the government. What are y'all talking? Who are these people who just showing up on our timeline? I won't even answer y'all. I will let our nationalists answer y'all because they good at that. Someone say if he's short, then disconnect him. I know because I didn't see anything in the thing about Pastel Gardens. But most people, when the power go off, they listen to make sure their neighbor's power off too, or they'll go inside and check to see if they had the little yellow thing on the thing. But anyway, charge your phones, charge your fans, charge your batteries. Get a generator. I don't know what to say to you guys. It was fun hanging out with you today. We have another fun show planned for you guys tomorrow. We're finally going to talk about all those murders and all of the other stuff that we wanted to get into. So we'll have a nice, easy Friday. Okay? We'll see you guys tomorrow.